Hello, salutations, what to do, Sadot the Gamer, all father, Durag Nation, vibes like subscribe, let's get it. Welcome once again to another Friday evening spent with your favorite naysayers, myself and JayShockblast.
Are you allowed to say that about me?
Yeah, it's fine. I gave you the pass. You have the naysayer pass. I think a casual Avenger would agree if he wasn't stuffing his face with a deep dish right now. Jay, honorary naysayer.
Fair enough.
So we got another fun show to you. There's a lot of stuff happened this week in pretty much every aspect of the world. I literally just saw on Twitter someone set themselves on fire outside the Trump trial. So this is a crazy week, but we're gonna stick to everything else that happened. We got the Invincible reveal.
I saw an interesting quote about the whole self-immolation trend. It's certainly better than the mass shootings.
Much better.
So listen.
Hey, if you want to set yourself on fire, I mean, you shouldn't do that, but it's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
We also got some news to go over about one of Jay's favorite games, Pokémon Go, found itself in the culture war.
Legitimately, yeah. I was actually surprised to see that you saw that. But
I see everything, Jay. I see everything.
I did. All right, we'll get to that when we get to it. So
yeah, when even Kotaku tells you fucked up, you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
So
it's weird.
Yeah. In a similar vein, we'll also talk about Stellar Blade, which is on track to be PlayStation's second massive hit of 2024 outside of Jay's favorite game, Helldivers 2. I finally caught up on X-Men 97, so we can do a whole gush fest about that show and how awesome it is and how I'm now sad about the future of the MCU because of it. And there's a ton of stuff. I think we didn't get to talk too much about Fallout, but we'll talk a little bit about that. I finished that. I assume Jay did, as well. And of course, it's seen a big spike in interest, just like what happened with Cyberpunk after Edge Runners dropped. So we'll talk a little Fallout. I guess we can get a little Suicide Squad. That's always involved in some kind of controversy. Jay made you actually just get that out of the way. Jay made a little video about it himself, filled with hate and some of just the most vicious anti-gamer rhetoric I've heard. Jay really laid into Suicide Squad with that latest video, so we'll talk about all about it. But first, congratulations to Old Man Eastwood. He was the first one here. Congratulations, my friend. What's up, Mikey Dykes? Appreciate you hanging out. Gabe, our boy Lucky Raygun, Fams, the Comic Rito. What's up? Appreciate.
We'll give that spoiler warning when we start talking Fallout.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Yep. Good evening, Venom. As well. Appreciate all you guys hanging out on this Friday evening, listening to us talk shit for 2 hours. I know some of you could be watching basketball, or people set themselves on fire. So I'm glad you're here. Talk about
imagine setting yourself on fire over Donald Trump.
That's wild.
Like let's start with that.
That's an insane thing to do. Yeah. Like usually when I hear people set themselves on fire, it's like in like Tibet or something over like protesting oppression. But yeah, this is a new one. This is insane. All right. I guess we'll get into it because Jay, of course, made a video. Hyrule made a video about it today, and there's pretty much not else. Fortunately, there's never anything else to talk about Suicide Squad other than what they're doing wrong.
I mean, there's double XP weekend.
I mean, yeah, that's the big news. Double. I mean, they announced a couple of days ago they're doing double XP. Well, they didn't say they said we're getting an increased XP. They didn't tell us specifically what XP, but they gave us some more details in the blog. They're also increasing your Prometheum. So if you're into any of that,
pretty sure I have like 1 million Prometheum, maybe even more. Like, what are we
I
doing here?
mean, if you're low on Prometheum, or you're trying to get your XP up fast, now's the time to grab Suicide Squad. Otherwise, yeah, people were, of course, predictably unhappy with the latest blog due to the state of the game. There were several issues that remain outstanding. There were different issues. Jay in particular, and even me, weighed in on the state of the marketplace, which is obviously the game has much more bigger problems in the marketplace, but
Right.
the state of the marketplace is just kind of another example of just where this game is just going wrong in like every conceivable way.
Yeah. So, like, here's the thing, okay, and obviously we've both said this over and over again. They just misread their audience, okay? Like, they thought that people would get into the whole Elseworlds idea, and like that was the basis of everything that they're doing. They wanted everything to be like unique takes on these DC Comics characters that we all know.
Right.
And they just fail to realize that nobody gives a shit. They want what they know. And look, I tweeted out that I wanted to be the only person wearing the Gentleman Ghost Deadshot. Come to find out, there's about 15 other people wearing it. And they're very big Gentleman Ghost fans, and that's fine. Let's not pretend like we're all advocating them doing the Green Lantern King Shark skin, okay?
Of course.
So we're all fine with them doing like these characters wearing other characters' costumes. Just do characters people know. Like, no offense to Gentleman Ghost, it's a cute outfit, but I don't want to keep describing these as cute. Okay,
but. And even in the case of Gentleman Ghost, like I thought it was a cool idea, but I don't think people would even be having as much of an issue with it if it wasn't for the execution. Like they're essentially just recolors. Like it's incredible. Feels like we're living in Groundhog Day. Yeah. This is literally just Avengers all over again. Like how many times do we have to tell Crystal Dynamics, stop giving us recolors, stop giving us these weird alternative outfits. Just give us some comic accurate and movie skins, for God's sake.
Pause.
Wish you get back, and this was like about your friends. Unfortunately, sucks you insert. Like that's one of the great reference to one of my favorite Aftershow Podcast shorts.
yeah, but like that's of course the thing. Like I don't know that like the Gentleman Ghost skin is really a recolor per se, but like it can be.
It's basically a swatch of the prison outfits.
Yeah, and I could absolutely see why people would feel that way, even if they're not like 100%. But that's the point, though, is that like that's something you do down the road. I don't like begrudge these existing, but right now they're one of the only choices. And it's dumb. And they know it's dumb because we've seen classic Joker sell really well. We've seen classic Harley Quinn sell really well. People want what they know. And like, why wouldn't you be doing the Green Lantern skin, for example? Or, okay, so like we already did Justice Losers. I'm pretty sure most people got the deluxe edition because of that. Yep. Because those skins were freaking awesome, right?
Sure
so like, why aren't we doing more based on characters we know? We just had the Joker release. Why aren't there Joker style skins for everybody else? Like, what are we doing here? Come on.
It blows my mind. Like even the Gentleman Ghost skins, like Gentleman Ghost, his whole thing is that he's a ghost and a gentleman. Why are they not in formal wear? Why is King Shark not wearing a ghost suit and tie? Why and Harley Quinn not in a formal evening gown with the ghost?
They got the floaty hat and the monocle. I guess that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, that's all they had. Like, but the rest of the outfits is like, oh, that's just what's already in the like. Even with these unique ideas, like you could go the extra mile to make it look cooler, to kind of sell people on it. But for me, unless you're like a deep cut Gentleman Ghost fan, I'm not touching these outfits.
See, that's like a D-list character at best.
Yeah.
Like let's not pretend here. And I'm sorry that there's obviously somebody in the Rocksteady office that just loves them some Gentleman Ghosts, and we're able to talk that skin up to the top of the food chain. But like, I just feel like there's like no urgency. Like, it feels like they thought that people would buy into their idea of Elseworlds and all the stuff that goes with it, and that they would just be okay, with these kind of variations of sort of like very D-list characters. And it's not working. Like, 3 weeks in a row we've had, okay, the Easter skins, they were free, the week after Easter. Then we had the second wave of the, kid skins, like the the daycare center skins.
Yeah.
Create your own costume. All right, the second wave of those, and I cannot imagine those sold much at all.
Except I'm sure the Harley one sold pretty
but
well.
Even that one like takes out the best part.
Yeah. But not and definitely not the cardboard box variants.
That's what I mean. The second wave of those.
Yeah, those.
The cardboard ones I cannot imagine sold at all. And now you're putting the Gentleman Ghost, which again, in theory, it's cute. I get it. I understand what they're doing, but like, you have like this small window right now to keep people. And the one thing that I found a little annoying is like we're not experts in the life and times of Marvel's Avengers, and people coming at me saying skins aren't going to save this game. No, you're right. They're not going to be the be all end all, but we literally watched Marvel's Avengers get 2 extra years of life off of selling skins.
Literally.
And that is not up for debate. That happened.
And if Wagner hadn't gotten fired, they would have at least got to the Kree invasion.
Yeah. So like, I don't understand. I just don't understand what they're doing. I really don't. Like, how is King Shark a skin they've already designed? Okay. And I understand that not everything is a one-to-one, thing. And there might be extra stuff they had to do. But God damn it, do whatever you have to do and sell us King Shark in a goddamn Green Lantern skin, your outfit, It's everybody will buy it.
And it can't be that, like, that's the thing. Like, there's so much planning and preparation that goes into this stuff. Like, they knew they were going to have King Shark as Green Lantern when they wrote the story. Like, how are you not coordinating with the design team? Like, okay, we also want to have this in the shop. Like, it feels like they didn't plan the marketplace at all, because we're almost at the end of month 4 since the game came out, and they haven't released a single movie tie-in skin. Not one.
Granted, there's not a lot of movies tie-ins to really sell, but still.
But there are. They have you've got 2 Suicide Squad movies, both featuring Harley Quinn, with multiple costumes that they can use in each of them. You have the Joker as your first DLC character, who's been in a ton of movies over the years, not to mention the stuff from the animated series you can draw on from both Harley and the Joker, and then all the comic book stuff on top of that, and they just don't have anything.
Right. Yeah, I was talking purely movies. Yeah. So yeah, and there is, like, granted, it's a different kind of Boomerang, but you've got 2 versions of Captain Boomerang in both Suicide movies, Squad movies. There's the Will Smith Deadshot outfit, which again, you don't even have to license Will Smith's likeness. You just need a suit.
Yeah, for all of you just need the outfits. Like, you don't need to give us the actual likeness. You don't need to put Margot Robbie in the game. Just give us the costumes, and then you can.
Which is literally what Avengers did.
Literally what Avengers did. You have the Arkham outfits. People would love to buy those. There's so many outfits they could have in the marketplace that could have been carrying the game financially, because we knew the sales were not going to be massive, and they're just not doing. Not only that, they went over a month without any new costumes at all after the game came out. Like, you had the pre-order skins, And then when you got to the shop on day one, there was nothing there except variants of the skins you pre-ordered. Then after that, the only thing they added were swatches. Like they had no new sets of skins. Avengers, when that game came out, they had new skins. They were trash, but they were new. Like they, eventually they figured it out once, everyone kept telling them, hey, this is shite. Give us the stuff that we want. But with Suicide Squad, it's like you have all this hindsight and you have an even more limited IP to work with. And instead of capitalizing on what you can do, it feels like no one even just considered it.
It's baffling. It really is. I thought that they would be having like a decent amount of new suits in the shop every week. And here's the thing that also I really feel like the shop in general is poorly designed. I understand the idea of having bundles,
right?
But having everything locked behind a bundle is weird. Like if you want to make people buy like the base bundle, fine. The $1,000 or the 1,000 V-Bucks bundle, fine.
Right.
But like, how are you not selling the swatches individually? There are so many people that are not buying that second Joker classic outfit to get that gold swatch. But what if you just charge like a percentage more to buy just the gold swatch? Like, sure, you're not going to possibly sell that bundle, but you're still selling the swatch, which is better than nothing.
Yeah, like that's the thing that more companies, especially Rocksteady, need to understand. Like having stuff costs a lot more than you need to is not going to equal more revenue if people are going to turn away. Like one of the selling points of Helldivers was that $40 entry point. Like that wasn't a guarantee way to make the game sell. The game sold because people loved it, but the $40 entry point was and they're not missing out on the revenue because they sold a lot. Like if you have more options in the marketplace and they're affordable options, like you're going to have more people buying it, which is going to make up for you just selling considerably less at higher prices.
I do want to address this. I understand where you're coming from with that. Actually, I'll leave it on. I understand where you're coming from with that, but like emotes and voice lines and stuff like that is a common thing in battle passes.
Yeah, those should absolutely be in the battle pass.
Those are absolutely things that are in Apex. They're in Fortnite. Like those are battle pass items, and I feel like they're pretty fair as far as that goes.
Yeah, my issue with the main issues with the battle pass I had was the XP, which they addressed, and the lack of Captain Boomerang representation.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, in general, they should have more skins on there. Like it's basically just Wayne Tech and Wayne Tech variants.
I feel this. I do feel this. I love the Wayne Tech outfits though, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, all right, so we got those Batman outfits in the battle pass, right? And you've got the season of the Joker. Why can I not dress up Deadshot looking like the Joker?
Yeah.
Imagine a clown Prince of good aim outfit.
Yeah.
Like imagine his helmet looking like the Joker.
Or imagine like some more Joker outfits. Like remember, like even the probably the most down bad Avengers update, the Winter Soldier, the last DLC before the plug got pulled. When Winter Soldier came out, what did they have available for him? They had comic book skins and his MCU skins, multiple variants of his MCU skin. What do we have? They did the same thing for Jane Foster, who's not even a big character. They had her movie suits. They had several of her comic suits. Like, why do we have not? There's so much they could have done with the Joker based on his history. They had They could have had any of his movie stuff. They could have had him from the Batman animated series. There's so many there's so many Joker looks they could have sold, and people would have happily bought them.
They really should be flooding the marketplace. Like, I feel like I don't understand why they're being so conservative. This is what is going to push them, through the life of the game. Like, you've got artists, all right? Like, I don't want to like devalue or like try to make it seem like, oh, it's so easy to make a skin or a costume, because I know that there's hard work that goes into it. But my God, I can't imagine it's like you should be able to pump out like a costume for each character a week.
I mean, if Avengers can do it with a staff of 30 people, Rocksteady can do it.
Yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I can't even believe I didn't even think of like the whole Joker centric outfits for all the characters like sooner. Like,
don't
can
feel
you
bad.
imagine?
They didn't either.
Yeah. Well, imagine Harley having a Joker style skin, and King Shark having a face paint head. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I saw someone respond on my tweet about this with some Bane inspired skins. I think they were in Injustice or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh well, yeah, that would have made sense. That would have gone really well with the, I don't know, Bane gear set that you started the game with.
Yeah, so like it's not that we're opposed to like having character-based skins that make these characters look like other characters. Just pick some people care about. And I understand, I'm sorry that the 15 Gentleman Ghost fans saw my tweet and got sad. We're actually had a good attitude about it. But like, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that like, I love Nova, but like, I don't expect them to have like a fleet of Nova outfits for characters in some of these games. I mean, even though they did in Guardians of the Galaxy, but like still, it's just Gentleman Ghost. That's like the second or third big outfit we're going with. Like what? Like it's so infuriating because like I believe in Rocksteady. I believe in like the Elseworlds and vision of the game. I understand what they're doing. But then at the same time, I just don't understand what they're doing. I just don't.
I hate this. I hate to agree with High Ruler, but he made a point in his video today where he was talking about whether or not you should just give up on the game. And he's absolutely right about one thing, and that's at this point, we know what the game is. There's no reason, like if you did not enjoy season 1, you might as well uninstall the game because they don't have enough time to do a complete overhaul.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Of the content. The game is what it is. The communication is not going to get better. If you don't like the core gameplay, the way they structure these seasons, that's not going to get better. The game is what it is. So if you're someone who just every week tuning into the blog being disappointed that they're barely addressing community issues and no meaningful changes are coming, you'd be better off just going elsewhere because it's not going to get better. It just isn't.
There's some things that are fair about that and some things that aren't in a lot of ways too. Like people are acting surprised that like it's a reskinned game, but like they always said that what was going to happen is that the worlds would change based on different characters and they would like shift in alternate versions of Metropolis.
Yep, which is perfectly fine. I think people just weren't expecting a complete absence of story content.
Yeah,
or really any content.
That is 100%. I agree. I'm shocked by that. I think we all thought that we would get, we didn't think that they gave away the whole cutscene that we were going to get before the game came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I assumed it was going to be something else.
Yeah, I just assumed that there would be like a little bit more. That was like a part of walking through the process. But like, I think what they've made is fair, and if you like the gameplay loop, you should be able to keep playing it like any other game. Like Destiny, for instance, you're just going to log in and like, granted, they have other worlds you can go to that look a little bit different, but like that you're just basically going to go to the same worlds over and over again and collect the same missions to do around the city and go and do them over and over again. If you want to play multiplayer, you're going to log in and do Crucible on the same few maps, in like the same like what team deathmatch and whatever the capture the flag points are.
Yeah, and if you're JayShockblast, you're just going to log in, look around, not know what's going on, and log back out.
Exactly. Well, at least I spent money while I was there because they had those awesome Mass Effect skins and those awesome Witcher skins. I don't even play as a Titan, and I got my Commander Shepard outfit. Like, but like
that's the value of. Imagine that, the value of having skins that people want in your marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh.
Imagine. Yeah, it's just wild. Fortunately, I had enough V-Bucks in my Destiny game from the last time I played to buy most of what I bought, but still.
Yeah, they're adding a few missions in episode. New missions, at least one of them is new, I know. And they're going to have some new gear, but other than that, that's going to be it. The original cadence was supposed to be every 6 weeks, new content drop. So the new season 1 dropped in March, the end of the end of March. So you're looking at all of April, then you're basically looking at within the first 3 weeks of May, they should have episode 2 out.
Yeah.
I
just feel like they're making the classic mistake of, no, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that they've just got the notification from up high.
Nope. This is what we're going to do. This is all we're going to do.
Yeah,
this is what, we're doing this. Okay. This is what we're doing.
It could also be that they just got the noti that we're not supporting this long term, so wrap it up at the so that's just is what it is.
But I don't think that was the plan. You know what I mean? Like,
it definitely wasn't the plan because it's a live service game. The ideal plan would be to have this last 10 years or more, but based on their actions, and Miller's intel, it's kind of hard to imagine a scenario where this game has a future beyond 2025.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hope that if this game doesn't make it and they do decide to pivot to something else, I hope that something else is like a Looney Tunes game. Like, I hope it's like nothing that anybody that's ever bought a Rocksteady game has ever expected. I hope they make something like completely different because the Arkham losers do not deserve anything else.
That's originally what they wanted to do. They were working on according to Schreier's reporting, they were originally doing an original multiplayer game,
right?
And then after W Games Montreal canceled their Suicide Squad game for whatever reason, Rocksteady ended up taking over that project and making a live service out of it. And obviously we would love a Superman game from Rocksteady, but that's probably who knows.
Do we though? Like, think about it. Like, think about are they really the right studio to make a Superman game? Because think about the combat in the Arkham games. It's not like that complex.
No.
And you're not dealing with a lot of flight and stuff like that. Like, I don't know that I would actually necessarily want them to make a Superman game. I would want somebody to make a Superman game, but I don't know if it's them.
I mean, I feel like they have the talent to do it.
Yeah.
Like a live service game is obviously a very different, skill set to implement, but this would be more up their alley. There are a lot of different studios that you could have to do a Superman game, but WB, they seem to be against the idea of licensing out their IP for now for games, and they have limited studios, so I would feel more comfortable with a Rocksteady Superman game, especially since they did such a great job on just the character, just the look and everything, than the WB Games Montreal, which is what sounds like they're doing. Potentially, whatever, we still don't know officially what that secret game they're working on is, except for that it's DC.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have them. I would rather have
Womp womp. So while he's gonna have to correct his freeze here, I'll say this: I went to WB Games Montreal back when Gotham Knights was coming out, and uh, like Uncaged Games and Caboose were talking about, oh, you should make a Superman game like nonstop like that. They just kept talking about it, and for what it's worth, everybody involved that we met with and talked to, they did not lead us to believe that was something that they were going to do. So I get it. I don't necessarily want a Superman game myself because I'm not as big a fan of Superman, but I do believe that is the right character to go to. You know, we've had good Batman games. We've got this Wonder Woman game that's coming, which we forget about. So the Holy Trinity, like the DC Trinity, should all have their own game. You know what I mean? I would actually kind of rather see Rocksteady do like a Green Arrow game, personally.
that was where
Yeah.
my StreamYard got disconnected, but nothing else. No, I thought I had a power surge. I had everything else, all my internet, everything was working except StreamYard.
Yeah. I covered it. I'm a pro.
As you are.
Yeah. But yeah, basically what I was saying is that, you know, while I don't necessarily care about a Superman game, you know, it's the Trinity. You've had the Batman games, you need the Superman game to go with the Wonder Woman game. It does make a lot of sense that you got to get that there. And I said, oh, look at that. I also said I would actually rather see Rocksteady do like a Green Arrow game or something like that, you know, because that type of combat would really work.
Green Arrow was slap, but you know there's going to be a lot of demand always for a Superman game because he's such a popular character,
for sure.
And
so might as well just get it out of the way.
And it's been so long. Plus, you know, there's going to be even more pressure now to drop a Superman game because now we have a game.
What a segue.
that was just revealed.
I saw it coming and I was like, ooh, this was good.
That was, yeah, I think I deserve a round of applause for that. Yep, there is officially an Invincible game, AAA Invincible game, not just any Invincible game. A AAA one was officially revealed earlier this week on Skybound, and they announced it on their page. And you won't believe it, Jay. People are already hating on it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not understand this crowdfunding situation.
I see. I feel like I'm the only person who understands it.
No, I understand it, but I don't understand why.
Yeah, like I understand why. That's why I feel like I'm literally the only person I understand, because I hear a lot of people saying they're confused, they don't understand what's going on, how it works. Like they think it's weird.
It's like the stock market.
Yeah. So basically, for some inside baseball, when new games, particularly AAA ones, are about to start development, they start looking for money. Like, believe it or not, even someone as big as EA look for money. They have investors. They do loans. They all do sorts of stuff, because everyone who took a business course knows you do your best to spend other people's money, not your own. That's the best way to grow. And gaming in particular is a very risky, low margin business a lot of times. So everyone's always trying to hedge because, this is not like Disney where they can just drop flop after flop and still exist. Like one studio drops a game that underperforms and that studio can go under, like just like that. Like we just saw that with the studio that just did Immortals of Avian. That game they spent 100
game.
From everything I've heard, it was a solid game, 7 out of 10 game, and had reported $100 million budget, complete flop, laid off 50% of the staff, reportedly furloughed another 40%, which basically means you still have your job, you're just not getting paid for it. So effectively, studio sunk after one game. What Invincible and what Skybound is doing is what every studio does, except they're making it open to retail investors. So what people understand a crowdfunding campaign typically is someone says, hey, I have this thing that I want to create. I need money to do it. And you're going to give me money if you want to see that thing so that we can create it. And all the money that you give me goes directly to that thing. And based on the tiers, how much you get all these extra benefits. This is not that. This is more like a seed raise. They're funding. You see this all the time in tech. This is more like a capital raise. They're looking for investors to invest in Skydance specifically. That's why the minimum they accept for this campaign is $100. But the only unusual thing is that they're opening up to retail investors. Usually, they don't give regular people like you and me access to any of this stuff. They go to private equity or a hedge fund or something like that,
right?
To get some of that sweet capital, and that way they're only listening to billionaires and everything like that. So for their funding. But with Skybound, they're like, okay, we have this small studio, we're doing all this in-house. We want to have as little outside influence as possible, but we're going to raise money to help go towards this project. So if you want to invest in Skybound and you believe in our vision, you can invest in this project, and your investment will go towards the game and you'll be a part of it. So this is going to be a situation where the game is going to be made. If you even look at this particular campaign that they had, they've already raised $18 million. This is the second round of funding. The goal is only $5 million. So it's not like they're trying to make the game on $5 million. They've already gathered investments. And that's also not to say that you can't make a game with that kind of money, because Power World only costs $6 million to make. So it's not like people see these big figures for these AAA games like Insomniac, Spider-Man, or God of War and think, oh, you need $100 million or $200 million to make a good game. You don't, like, especially with the technology.
I just think it's wild that like you are going to potentially, you can invest up to $2,500 into the game, and come out of it with nothing.
Correct.
Like, and I don't think, and they are not doing well. Like, if they even did, like, they're offering you like, what do they call it? Insider points. Right. And I don't know if you've seen like the rewards you get based on the tiers of their insider program. Like, once you get to like the highest level, you're like getting Discord access. Like, that might be the second highest level. All right. Which would require like $500 investment on that. Now you do get discounts through their store, like up to I think 15%. But like, if you buy a lot from them, Skybound,
I have not.
Then sure, I guess that's okay. That's cool. But like, you are just not going to get very much for your investment. unless the game is a massive success. Then maybe you're going to get your money back. Maybe.
But that's what's part of being an investor. And now people are starting to understand what some of these.
But you know what blows me away? Like, I can't even like imagine why they didn't offer, like, if you hit a certain point, like if you donate a certain amount, that you will at least get like your name in the credits or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, like even that costs them nothing to do.
Yeah, and that goes to what I was saying about how it's not a traditional crowdfunding campaign, and they probably should have made it more in that line if they were going to make this open to retail investors, because this if you're someone who regularly invests in projects and stuff like this, then you don't even need to go through this page. But if you're not familiar with this sort of thing, you're looking at this and you're expecting like a traditional, like a GoFundMe, and you're looking at these perks and you're like, well, this is a lot of money to particularly invest, and I'm not really seeing any perks. You invest $100, you receive 10,000 insider points per $100 invested, up to 50,000 with a 500 investment. Skybound Insider is a tier-style loyalty program to build and amplify fandom. The more users engage with us, the more value provided. So it's like if you're this is basically if you're a super fan of Skybound, you buy a lot of Skybound related merch, whether it's The Walking Dead or Invincible, then yeah, maybe you can go into this. But if you're someone on the outside, there's really no appeal to this other than you want to maybe just support Skybound in some way, and you believe in this project. And I definitely think if they wanted to have a bigger impact on retail investors, they definitely should have had some more interesting perks if you were going to have this higher buy-in. But it just feels like they already know that they have the funding that they need for the game. They're just trying to rally together some extra stuff. But at the end of it, we're probably looking at it's probably going to be around $20 million from what they raise. And like I said, private equity, they could always raise more. This is what most companies do anyway. So regardless, they're going to have the funding for this game. The question is, what is the game and will it be good? And people are already concerned because I saw Caboose even made a video about this today, but I saw this a while ago. But at the bottom, they give you a little description of their vision for the game. They said cutting edge competitive gameplay, premium production values, and the most advanced online and technical foundations. Online. Mm-hmm. It will be released under a premium model with multiple DLC expansions and special editions designed to cater in every fandom. There's going to be competitive and local play modes. The game is designed to contribute new stories to the Invincible multiverse. So it sounds like it could be a fighting type of game, or we're not sure exactly.
You know what it definitely is?
A games as a service.
Or a live service.
At
a minimum, it's games as a service. But
100%
sounds like a live service.
Yeah, it definitely gave me live service vibes there. But bare minimum, games as a service confirmed. They said it's a premium model, and
you're buying stuff.
There's multiple DLC expansions. So they didn't outright say multiplayer, but if there's online infrastructure, which they said if there's a competitive mode and local play mode, that makes me think of like a Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat type of situation. So
I think it sounds more like the Dragon Ball games.
Which one?
Like, You know how like I
You mean-
feel like there's like a Dragon Ball game where you like it's kind of open world and you fly around to fights and stuff like that. Am I
Well,
crazy?
that's Kakarot, which is a single player game, but there's which and also has a premium model. But there's Xenoverse, which is kind of like it's like a combination of fighter MMO type of deal. That could be the closest comparison. You know, you create your own character in that one, but they also have characters from the series and everything like that, and there's some story. So I feel like best case that could be what they're going for here. You know, a Xenoverse, but Invincible, which could be really dope. But it's definitely something where you're going to be paying money for for DLC. So yeah, that's the only question. Is it going to be, is it going to be a games as a service like Arkham Knight, where you have your single player experience, but you've got you've got content that you can buy post launch, like a season pass, and it comes with DLC and stuff like that? Or is it going to be more of a traditional live service where, like a Destiny, where where they've got multiplayer, they've got competitive stuff, and they're releasing expansions, and they also have new playable characters on top of, most likely cosmetics to buy.
I bet it's gonna feel something like DC Universe Online.
That's also possible.
With like, remember that Rumbleverse game that didn't last very long?
Yeah, lasted like a month.
Yeah, like kind of maybe something like that, like
Like
a
like a
mode like that.
like a battle royale type of
Yeah,
thing.
like not even necessarily a battle royale, but like obviously you're not. I don't know a lot about Invincible, but from what I've seen, most of the characters aren't like shooting guns; they're just fighting each other.
Right.
Which is why I understand like the possible fighter game kind of thing.
And
But
to be fair, there's a lot of that in Invincible.
yeah, so like I could see it being, a fighting game, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think it could have a little bit of that. Like I see, here's the thing. Okay, I this is going to sound crazy, but like multiverses. Okay,
Right.
so that's like that platformer fighting game. But I don't know if you saw, they had something with the NHL where they
Mhm.
did an actual multiverse hockey game.
Yep.
And it was basically AR where it was whatever was happening in the real game is what was happening. But it made me think, like, I want that game. I want to play that game. So what if Multiverses became a game where you had your platform fighter, but you also had like a hockey mode and a soccer mode and a kart racing mode, and it like became a party game. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's out there and crazy, but like I could also see Invincible, maybe not the kart racer, but like it could have like your traditional open world MMO RPG kind of thing, but also as part of it, there's like a multiplayer fighting game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it. So like a bad, well, a good but and also bad example. There was obviously I'm a big anime fan.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe. I've
they
heard that.
you've heard rumors. They released. I'm sure you've heard of this one, Jay. There was a One Punch Man game. There were several One Punch Man games. One Punch Man, of course, was one of the biggest anime in the world. Still one of the biggest manga in the world. And one of the games they released was a console game, and it was part open world ish RPG where you basically create your own hero, and you can customize them, and you walk around you're just walking around the city, and you're within the One Punch Man setting, and you're participating in the story to a degree. And it was a fighting game. It was a local. You could have fighting game against the AI. You have fighting against the AI, and you could also fight against other players online. And they also had a story mode where you can basically relive, parts of the actual anime and fight in those battles. It was basically like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but worse in pretty much every way, and also added online. Yeah, DBZ Kakarot is just a pure open world single player action game that lets you relive the entirety of the Dragon Ball Z initial anime run, plus some other extra side stuff, some original stuff, and then they added DLC story expansions to it later on. But it was just a mainly focused single player experience, and I feel like Kakarot is the model that people really wanted for Invincible, like open world, exploring the universe, playing through the different arcs of the series, playing with different characters, PvE, like I feel like that would have probably gone over the best. Like I think the Kakarot model would have been the best case scenario for Invincible if it wasn't, something else. A fighting game could work, but I feel like a lot of people really wanted that story driven and beat 'em up Invincible experience. And anything again going away from that, I feel like people are definitely going to be disappointed if it's
yeah.
not.
I feel like fighting games have like a glass ceiling, and you're not going to usually go through it. Because you think about like Tekken, and you think about Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and like you see what they sell, and it's not like gangbusters. It's not like GTA numbers,
Right.
I think Tekken, I think they did like what, 2-3 million, 4 million maybe.
Yes.
I know Mortal Kombat did like 6, and Street Fighter was somewhere in between the two. So like those are huge popular names. Like everybody knows what Street Fighter is, and everybody knows what Mortal Kombat is. So I don't know that Fighter is the way to go either.
You should buy your son Dragon Ball Z Kakarot immediately. Yeah, the fight. Yeah, I would try it out depending on what it looks like, but yeah, I would ideally not want a fighter, because I feel like this is a problem with anime inspired games as well. Like that people were like, come on, like we get it. Because like with Dragon Ball, people are like used to it and they love those games. But that's why Kakarot was refreshing, because it was like, okay, for once we're not giving you a fighter game. But it feels like every other anime game goes for the fighter. Like the Jujutsu Kaisen game tried to be an arena fighter. Demon Slayer tried to be like the Naruto Storm games, which are fighters. But at least those also had like a full, really good story campaign, single player story campaign modes. And like, so if they want to go in that route, like have a single player campaign that lets you kind of relive those moments, but also have this competitive fighter mode, that's fine. But if you're looking at a studio of that size, I would be concerned with them trying to make a fighter game. Like, we know it's possible to support like a live model on a small studio. I mean, the guys that do No Man's Sky, they've eventually figured it out and they've been doing great with it. But in general, it's real, and as they showed, it's very hard to maintain an online game, a live online multiplayer game with a small studio. It's doable, but that game is, even though it's multiplayer, it's a lot of exploration. And we're talking about potentially a fighting game. Fighting games, the online connectivity is really, really important. Like the net, if your net, like Multiverses had a lot of initial success, but it fell off because the net code just wasn't there. If your online connectivity is not top notch with a fighting game, your fighting game's dead, like immediately.
Indeed. I'm interested to see what they do. They are not going to meet their goal. There's no shot. I mean, I've had the page open all week, and I mean, our numbers don't even match right now. Like I have 283 backers,
right?
Which you do as well, but mine says 503, 563, and yours is 504.
Well,
6-3.
Well, once Jay, drops a check, I'm sure they'll easily get the rest of the goal. but
yeah, I honestly, I actually do wish that I could like
drop $4 million on this.
No, like do like $100, do the $100, the minimum. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not in a position. I just, we just booked a trip out for LA for Summer Game Fest. So
oh, nice! Congrats, Summer Game
yeah.
Fest. That should be looking forward to that this year. Well, I get my YouTube monies in a couple of days, so I think I'll drop a honey.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt if you could do it, but like, I just don't. The problem with this campaign is it's not something that fans are used to. Fans are used to not GoFundMe, Kickstarters and
Yeah,
stuff like that, where there's something like some tangible good that you're getting out of it.
yeah.
And like, they couldn't even do something as simple as saying, if you invest at this level, your name will just pop up as a special thank you in the credits. Like, I guarantee if they did that, I would absolutely make an investment.
Yeah, or give you your own title card.
Yeah, like, I don't know, something,
T-shirts, posters.
but like, they couldn't even do, like, there are so many like digital goods that you could do that cost nothing, and they literally did the least thing you can possibly do.
Well,
which
Jay,
is
you get points, Jay, which you can use to then spend on those goods.
yeah, like, hold on, if we click where it says invest $100, it opens like a separate page, I believe. Although for me, it opens the Republic page, and it talks a little bit. I think I actually had to Google what the insider perks were, but or hold on, when will I be charged? What information? Yeah, I don't remember where it was. Somewhere in there, because I had looked into it.
Right.
Like, it brought me to the page for the insider, and like, there's like 6 perks you can get, and there's like 6 tiers, and it's just not worth it. Like, the big selling point, I think if you get to the last tier, which is like over $500 spent, there's like a gift. So maybe you'll get your t-shirt.
Ooh.
If you invest at least
$500.
Yeah. But like, they'll take within your remaining investment limit $2,500. Like, that's just wild. And listen, you're gonna find out a hard lesson about making video games if this game tanks and you invested $2,500 and all you get out of it is nothing.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you invested, $100 million.
Right, exactly. That's exactly my point, though. You know what I mean? Like, so like, people talk about like all these things is just, here's your chance. It's like the stock market,
and that's why games have microtransactions.
And this is exactly the point right here. Like, if you were dropping $100, you're like, oh, you're gonna get a code for the core game. I think people would look at it a little bit differently. But like, you're not even getting that.
Yeah.
No matter the level of investment.
Yeah, you can spend $2,000 on this game
and get nothing,
and you have to
not
buy
get the game,
and you have to buy it when it comes out.
Unless
it's free to play.
So again, one of those not understanding your audience.
Yeah. I feel like they would have been better off just making a normal announcement, but just doing private funding. But apparently, they've had success with this in the past, raising 18 million. So they were like, oh yeah, let's do the thing. Maybe they'll get some whales will come in towards the end, so probably representing like an actual company, and they'll drop some bread. But yeah, I don't see it really this getting too much, even though it's trending, because regular fans are definitely regular fans are already skeptical because they don't even understand it to begin with. They're definitely not looking to drop $100.
I've been following it all week. It like started like from the get-go. It was already at like $450,000 with like 150 backers. So they've barely even gained 100 backers since it went live, because I saw it pretty fast after it went live. I don't know.
Seems to have dropped off a lot. So I don't know. We'll maybe they'll get like a really big push or something.
Usually it happens 2 ways. You get an initial surge, and then it slows down, and then you get a late push. They didn't get that initial surge at all. which leads me to believe this is not gonna.
Yeah,
They're not gonna get it.
well, at least they already raised 18 million, so they
Yeah.
can't complain too much. I will say that one game that definitely doesn't have to worry about money is going to be Stellar Blade because holy, this game is looking to be another massive hit. This came out a couple weeks ago. Ampere did a breakdown of the active players, and reportedly Stellar Blade's demo had 690,000 active players. Stellar Blade is also currently, of course, the most pre-ordered game on PlayStation. This game is definitely looks like it's going to be another hit. It's has projected sales numbers of I'm seeing numbers like 4 million initially. So I think I might have literally talked about this on the show, but I was like, yeah, this game is going to get involved in the culture war and it's going to sell a lot. Like then I feel like I literally on the show said it was going to be a Hogwarts Legacy situation, and because from that first trailer when I saw how cheeked up she was, I was like,
I still haven't played it.
This is going to be a thing. It's a great demo too.
I keep meaning to. I sat on the demo like all night one night. I was going to record it, but I don't know why I didn't do it. But I do plan on playing it probably tomorrow.
I definitely recommend it, but like it was predictable. Like at Clockwork, just like Clockwork, I was like, we're gonna get think pieces, and we got one here from Inverse about the male gaze and the culture war and everything like that. And predictably it happened, and predictably gamers responded by saying F you, we're gonna buy this game anyway. And I'm like, did we not learn this lesson from Hogwarts Legacy? Don't tell gamers what to buy.
Yeah. I don't
work.
understand the whole thought process in general. Like, so what? The male gaze, it's a fucking video game.
Yes.
Who cares if the male wants to gaze? Like,
also the woman wants to gaze too.
Yeah. Like, why can't people have the things they want? You know, like in this, you look at the culture war, right? And it's just people fighting for like the things that they want and the things that they like. If you are somebody that has to fight so much to like get what you want and live the life that you want, why would you want to suppress anyone else from what they want, especially when it's just a video game?
Clearly,
it doesn't do anything.
This is a game. You are not changing the world by yelling at someone for playing a video game. It's
right.
It's just a game. No matter what. Like people are acting like Hogwarts Legacy was life or death. It's not. People are going to buy the game regardless, and it is going to be fine. Like Stellar Blade, it was so predictable, but it's fortunately is not nearly as bad as the Hogwarts Legacy situation. Like there was a huge push to try to make this Hogwarts Legacy boycott thing work, and it just completely backfired. And I feel like no one's heart's really in it with the Stellar Blade because it was clear with that Hogwarts Legacy defeat. Like you can't. No matter what side you're on, gaming boycotts just generally don't work. Like gaming is just too massive, it's too accessible. Like there's a lot of people who don't live online and are not going to see any of this stuff. So yeah, you're going to have your think pieces or whatever about the male gaze or whatever, but most of the people who read that are going to tell you to go fuck yourself anyway, and they're going to buy the game. And then the overwhelming majority of the gaming audience aren't even going to see any of this discourse. They're just going to say, ooh, pretty girl with a sword, let me buy. and they're gonna, they're gonna rock out with it. And they're gonna, or their favorite cosplayer, we're already seeing it. There's their favorite cosplayer already dressing up as the character Eve. Talking about, oh, that looks great. Who's that? Oh, Eve from that new Stellar Blade game. Oh, what's that? And they just like that. They're not. This boycott is not going to work. Like just
no.
You'd be literally better off. The funniest thing is with the Hogwarts Legacy situation is that if Progressive had said nothing, the right would have boycotted that game for them. Like that's what's funny. by every definition of woke that the culture warriors use, Hogwarts Legacy was like the wokest game of 2023. It was overwhelmingly. There was diversity everywhere in that game. All they had to do was say nothing. Just say nothing, let Hogwarts Legacy promote the game, and somebody would have made a video with red in the thumbnail saying Hogwarts is woke. Harry Potter went woke, woke, and they would have did it for them. like that's all they do is sit back and say nothing.
Yeah,
but they could not help themselves. They could not help themselves.
No,
it's all silly. just let people play the games. Don't like we're all for doing different things, having different points of view, but that's part of it. Like you can definitely have your games where you have a lot of representation and everything like that, but at the same time, let also people have games with anime waifus and jiggly stuff. like there should be a balance. People should just, if people like their horny games, let them have their horny games. If people want to have some political messaging in their games, let them enjoy those games if they want to have them. Why can't people just exist with their own thing? I think that's the real issue, where people, they're obviously grifters who just love all this for the money, and there are people who just hate people that don't look like them in general. But majority, I feel like they just don't want to feel like they're being forced into a certain thing, and that was like the Pokemon Go situation. That I'm curious to get JayShockblast as an avid Pokemon Go player.
Oh god,
where you at with this?
It's bad.
Unexpected controversy.
Yeah, so they're making updates to the game over the next week or so. And I guess the first one they dropped was the avatar. And I saw the notification for it. So I looked at my avatar and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm trying to make the changes and they just look terrible. It basically gives every character boobs. If you set your chest at a certain level, everyone gets boobs. It's so weird.
And I noticed people are also complaining that it increased everyone's waist size as well.
Yeah.
And
hold on, let's see if we can.
Do we have a JayShockblast avatar screenshot?
Might be no, but hold on, we might be able to. Let's see how I can. Oh God, remind me later.
It's crazy when even Kotaku was like, "Yeah, I messed up." This is such a weird thing, because the last time I heard about Pokemon Go, everyone was complaining about this change they made to raids, matching with raids or something.
Yeah. Yeah. They did this thing where you couldn't do remote raids anymore.
Yeah, so basically, you just had to be in person to raid with somebody.
Right. Hold on. I'm trying to see Elgato 4KX. There we go. Apply. Okay.
Yeah, see it. Which is dumb. So basically, if you have a friend in California and you live in New York, you can't rate. You wouldn't be able to rate with them.
Okay. Well, you can. You can just only do a certain amount per day.
And so you have a cap. So after a certain point, you wouldn't be able to rate with them.
Right. So, all right. Let's see. Present. Share screen.
Yeah, it feels unnecessarily restrictive.
Yeah. Well, and also it's you're not able to get money.
You can also look up character skirts now. Yeah, I saw that. And they did this to make everyone look androgynous.
All right. So this is me loading in my game. There's my avatar.
There's JayShockblast.
All right.
Looking very, very feminine.
Appearance, body. So this is what they did. Custom. So you can change your weight, but look at that. I think you have to do your chest all the way to 0 in order to like not have boobs. Like this is the male body, and like
yeah, in the kids game you can look up skirts now. Yeah, this whole update was a disaster.
yeah, so it's weird. You can go with like their default bodies, but like Jesus Christ, look at that. Like they all just look weird. Like look at how weird he looks. Oh, look at that. I think these are the female bodies, like where they do actually have boobs.
I mean, they mostly look the same as as the male choices now.
Yeah. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what this was. Like who? I know who this update was for, but also who was this update for?
Right.
Like,
So yeah, this has been a very big controversy. So as you can see here, I'm almost level 50, which is the level cap. Let's see if I won any of my. I won some of my Pokestop challenges, so that's great.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, this got all the culture warriors riled up. This overtook the Warhammer controversy, which was definitely a lot lower stakes. I bet because I pay even less attention to Warhammer. Only thing I know about that is that Henry Cavill is doing an adaptation of it. But people were mad about Warhammer apparently because some previously all male faction was retconned to have included females, and people were mad about it because it counters the lore, and it became like I literally know nothing about Warhammer. I just looked it up, and apparently after looking into it, them having females would basically have been the equivalent of DC coming out and saying Themyscira always had male Amazons. Like it was just a weird retcon that didn't make any sense. But obviously that just made everyone go crazy, especially after Warhammer released a statement on Twitter basically saying we're all about representation and diversity, and if you don't like that, go fuck yourself. So that obviously went over well. Yeah, it's been a big week for the culture war. I have people in my comment section all week talking about Sweet Baby this and that. I did a video about the Venom game that's we might get to see at the PlayStation Showcase, and I got a bunch of comments saying, "Oh, Sweet Baby," like it's like shut the fuck up. I don't care. You're better off not knowing what Sweet Baby is, Eastwood.
Yeah.
You don't need to know what Sweet Baby is. It's just know that the whole thing is stupid. Like the whole thing is incredibly stupid. Like people are determined to now hate on Insomniac no matter what they do because of this Sweet Baby nonsense. Like, and it's very clear that they just hate gay people. That's literally just what it is. That when it boils, because when you really boil down to it and like talk to them about why they're mad, there is one side mission in Spider-Man 2 where you're helping a couple with prom. You're helping someone with their prom proposal. If you swap out the guy with a girl and make it a straight couple, no one says anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people would, but like not that many.
Literally, the whole there's maybe 10 people who had the only fair criticism, which is that they didn't like that Miles had so many side missions involving the school. They wanted some stuff where he's fighting villains, not being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man doing a bunch of local stuff. They wanted more stuff like the Mysterio side quest. But most of the people screaming just only bring up that one side mission. It's literally just one side mission. It's part of a chain of missions where Miles is helping out around the school. Just because the couple in the mission isn't a straight couple, all of a sudden it's the wokest game ever. Insomniac sold their souls. It's terrible, and I got to cancel. I'm never playing. It's literally all that because of one side mission.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing anymore, but like I feel like those fans are just gonna bitch about anything anyway.
They will always find a way, but it's so stupid. Like they're acting like the side mission was you had to sit through an entire history of the LGBTQ lecture, do a pop quiz at the end of it, and then go beat up Donald Trump supporters at a pride rally. Like it doesn't
while watching them bone.
And wearing a rainbow colored suit. like it's literally a mission where you're helping someone with prom. That's it. They just happen to not be a straight couple. That's the entire mission.
Yeah. Like the mission was dumb, but like
all the missions were dumb. Like all the Brooklyn Visions Academy missions were dumb and would have been better spent having Miles, fight a villain. Maybe have the Spot. Introduce Spot as a villain and have that be a whole side chain.
Yeah.
But it's not dumb because woke. It's dumb because they're just inconsequential side missions where Miles is just helping out around the school. Like it doesn't mean anything. Peter, because especially when you have a better side mission like Miles's Mysterio thing or the flame side quest for Peter, like people would have preferred that they, instead of having all those Brooklyn Visions Academy missions, just replace them with a villain. Like, they teased Hydro Man, Speed Demon, and Big Will in the story trailer. They have those Easter eggs at the Coney Island. They could have had any one of those villains fill in for the side quest instead of the Brooklyn Vision stuff. But we got those instead. So yeah, if your complaint is that those Brooklyn Visions questions were just a waste of time, yeah, absolutely. But just to harp on that one mission just means you hate gay people. That's really what it actually is. Like if you were just saying, oh, just the Brooklyn missions suck, they shouldn't have had those. Fine. But just to harp on that one particular mission, we know what your real agenda is there.
Yeah.
Right. Let's not pretend it's anything else. like come on, keep it a buck. Did you see Rebel Moon?
God no. I don't think I'm not gonna watch anything Zack Snyder ever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jay is a fierce anti-Snyder person because of his cult.
Like it's not because of him, it's because of his cult.
Literally just because of the cult.
There's another one that's floating around right now of like Darkseid saying something and somebody trying to act like Thanos never could. Like, I don't know. It's just wild the way that there are people that like sell the Snyderverse. What are we talking about? They're DC comic movies. Like, they're not going to sell anything.
Yeah, that's not how any of that works.
It's called licensing.
Yeah. Now unlike
I've heard that the reviews are terrible though.
Oh, they're all so the reviews for Rebel Moon Part 2 officially dropped. It is currently sitting at a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes for critic score. And I think that's definitely way too low. I feel like it's by no means a good movie. I thought it was fine. I watched Rebel Moon 1 and 2, and I feel like Rebel Moon 2 was better. Part 2 was better. 1 was obviously extremely derivative and definitely boring, but I thought half of 2 was pretty boring, and then it got decently fun once the actual action started. So whatever. And then he's of course marketing director's cuts, which I think he's literally just doing it for the meme at this point. Like he's got his own movie series now. Like Netflix gave him the green light. He doesn't need a director's cut. Just release the fucking movie. So I think he's just leaning into the fact that he refuses to edit anything. So he's just going to use it as a selling point to get fans hyped. So it also works because now when inevitably, now we know for sure, but when they actually come out and people say, oh, this sucks ass, his cultists can be like, "Oh, you got to see the director's cut. You can't judge it until you see the director's cut." Like, no, it's you can judge it right now. It's not very good.
Yeah.
2 extra hours of slow motion and sex scenes. Apparently, that's what was missing from the non-director's cut version. I feel like Rebel Moon was like a 5 out of 10 movie, and Part 2 was like a 6 out of 10 movie. It's fine, but it definitely something. It's not something I would recommend anyone go out and see. Like, and you don't even have to go out. You literally just have to turn on Netflix. I'm like, if you're on Netflix and you somehow have absolutely nothing to watch, and you haven't seen any of the new anime this season for April, which has plenty of bangers, and you have nothing on Amazon, you have nothing on Disney Plus, if you're caught up on X-Men 97, you have absolutely nothing. No, you don't watch sports. There's nothing absolutely going on in your life. Yeah, give the series a shot. Otherwise, you can skip it.
Speaking of X-Men 97, last 2 weeks have been. Whew.
I finally did it, Jay.
Yeah,
it's been paining me not to be able to talk about X-Men 97 on this podcast because, obviously a huge X-Men fan. X-Men introduced me into Marvel when I was a wee lad, and I really was. Obviously, before I was cautiously optimistic because Disney has been fumbling everything pretty much, especially when it comes to Marvel. And I was really, really concerned because I love the original series. X-Men 92 was absolutely incredible. I loved it when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, please don't fuck this up. So I binge watched all 5 seasons over the course of a week, Jay. All of them. I didn't skip a single episode. And I went directly from episode 10 of season 5 right into X-Men 97 episode 1. And Jay, I definitely highly recommend anyone do that process because, oh boy, what an emotional roller coaster that was.
Yeah.
Jay. I mean, wow.
It's kind of crazy. I've gotten to know somebody that actually worked on that series over the years. His name is Dan Wiesenmeyer, and you might see me retweet him from time to time.
Right.
I met him through Lego gaming. He did like a lot of artwork in the Lego games. So that's kind of how I know him, but he worked on the X-Men animated series, and it's kind of been cool to see him kind of go through experiencing it too. Like he went out to the premiere in LA and everything, and yeah, it's also wild to like post something about it and have like one of the people that worked on it like respond to you. It's but yeah, I love that they went with the style very similar to the old school show.
Yeah, like that, and that makes me also upset because DeMeo, the creator of the series, got fired before it even premiered.
Yeah,
for reasons that they still will not disclose.
Yeah,
and I think they should unless he was cutting people's heads off in the back. I feel like we can let it slide. We don't know what it is, but I mean, if they can rehire James Gunn for joking about fucking kids, I feel like we can. I feel like we can forgive the Mayo for whatever it is he did to offend.
It's got to be bad. Like it's got to.
I would hope it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to even get involved in any of that.
I would hope it's bad because if it was the rumors are that he was difficult to work with and rubbed some executives the wrong way, particularly ones who were uncomfortable that he had a OnlyFans account. If that's the reason, it's stupid as fuck. And please fire whoever fired him and hire him back. But it better be something legitimately like unforgivable if he's fired, because X-Men 97 is not only a masterpiece, it's showing the blueprint for how to make good Marvel shows going forward, and why the previous Marvel shows mostly are ass, especially in comparison. Like I enjoyed parts of What If. It was one of my favorite things they ever did.
Yeah,
Marvel wise, apart from Werewolf by Night, but I was disappointed with season 2. Season 2 looks like complete dog water compared to X-Men 97.
yeah.
I mean, this is the animation, the storytelling. You can tell that this was made from somebody who
appreciate
loves the source material. Like you always hear, Kevin Feige and them would tell creators making these Marvel projects, oh, don't bother looking at the source material. You can tell that if they had told that to Bo, he would have not only told them to go fuck themselves, he would have said, I've already seen the source material. I love it. It's awesome, and I'm going to be using it. Deal with it. Like, it's a love letter to the original 92 series, while also growing it and moving it in some ways. Like, I love, like, especially being able to watch both so close together. Like, I really in particular appreciated like how much better they did Storm. Storm was great in the X-Men 92, but I felt like the problem with 92 was that it was like they really didn't do a great job most of the time of showcasing just how powerful these mutants were, because it was very much like a Saturday morning cartoon type of thing, where it's like relatively low stakes and kind of cartoony with the violence, and there was a lot of jobbing, a lot of Wolverine not using his powers, a lot of people not using their powers, and you didn't really get that sense. Like, it was great, it was fun, it was really some really good storytelling and writing, but the action just wasn't there. And from the very first episode, I was screaming in my living room. like when Cyclops jumped out when their jet got blown up, and he used his mega optic blast to land and said to me, I nearly came. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
This was like, I feel like people who watch X-Men 97 got a glimpse of what it's like to be an anime enjoyer. like we get that kind of peak every week. like that's what it means to be a true anime enjoyer, and get this, like, when a great shonen anime drops, when a Solo Leveling, when a One Punch Man, when a Demon Slayer drops, that's how we feel all the time. It was unbelievable, especially Storm. Oh my god, that Storm episode.
Yeah, they had some good imagery for her.
Oh, very, very good imagery.
I will say though, the Gambit situation was, but there's no way that's gonna stick.
Oh, I mean,
I know Foms, he's in the chat. He hit me up in the DMs. He's like, no, not my Gambit. We're fine. Let's hold on.
Like, as soon as I saw Cable appear, I was like, okay, I know where this is going. I know what this is. Like they literally just told you right then, okay, Cable is trying to go back and prevent this from happening. So there's going to be some time travel shenanigans.
Listen, not the first time I've watched one of my favorite characters die.
Yeah, like literally, I went from episode 10 of season 5 where Xavier dies to right into it, and because I didn't even remember that episode. I didn't watch the full trailer when Xavier's on his deathbed, so I actually thought he was going to die. So I watched it, and I was just in the fetal position the whole time, like losing my shit. And then when Landry came in time and saved him, just brought him to our world, I was like, oh, thank fuck.
Yeah, I thought that was my favorite part about this last episode, is kind of seeing the Shi'ar versus the Kree, and like getting to see that whole thing. Gladiator, I really like Gladiator.
They made him look great in this.
They really did, yeah.
They made him look. He turned into a, like, he had that when they introduced him in the Phoenix Saga. They made him look like a complete badass, and then a complete joke after that.
Yeah.
like every other time, he's just getting casually thrown around. Like, it's no big deal. They did a great job with it. And the Milky Way ghetto line had me crying laughing. Like I was like, oh, you didn't realize how racist the Shi'ar were in the original series,
right?
Until this one, but it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I really like that because Space Marvel is my favorite Marvel. Obviously, being a huge Nova fan,
of course.
Annihilation. Although this week, I don't know what's going on. They announced Annihilation 2099.
Love a good 2099.
Hold on, I'm gonna tweet this real quick because my brother. I said to my brother, like, I don't. It's not right, or I don't care, but
toxic.
Yeah.
Gambit definitely went out with a bang, and that's another thing. If you're gonna kill off a character, even if it's temporarily, that's how you kill off a character,
right?
Like compare that to Secret Invasion, where they got the character death out the way in episode 1, and it's like no one cared. There was no stakes. There was no build up. It was like, oh, what's her name? She's dead now. Oh, okay, sad.
Yeah.
Like this is Gambit. Like, he's a major character. He's had a lot of build up, through all X-Men 97, X-Men 92. He had this whole arc in X-Men 97 where it feels like it was building up to something, this whole romance, love triangle between surprisingly Magneto, Rogue, and Gambit, and you finally see Rogue is choosing Gambit, and then he goes out like a true hero. Like that was incredible. That's how you do it if you're going to kill off a character.
Yeah, indeed. I honestly, it was really powerful, the whole thing. I completely agree, but also the stakes aren't that high. They're not leaving Gambit dead. There ain't no way.
Cable will fix it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already saw him, so it's like, there's going to be some body sliding. But yeah, like that, I don't know.
But even if it doesn't, it was still a incredible thing. I mean, when she said, "I can't feel you," I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
right in the feels."
Yeah,
it was fantastic. Oh, it was fantastic.
The whole my whole thing was like, when in doubt, just throw 2099 on it. That's why I because I love Space Marvel, but like, I don't know, Annihilation 2099. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
2099 is quite a popular year. There's funny enough, the new Marvel Rivals of Doctor Doom is the main villain, and it's going to be like a variant versus variant. You got Doctor Doom and Doctor Doom 2099.
Of course.
going at each other. That was all about the 2099.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like DC with their Batman Beyond. You've got like that era and then the regular era, and they just kind of keep everything there. They keep going to 2099. Like they've had Punisher 2099, Ghost Rider 2099.
Yeah. What about 2097?
I don't know. It was not a good year.
apparently not. Everyone wants to go to 2099. How about we just jump to 3000? Just switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, there is also that. It looks like Doctor Doom is they're going to be doing another Marvel season, it looks like.
Yep, I saw that on the roadmap of Fortnite that reportedly leaked. So, yeah, I don't think I was here for the last Marvel one. I don't play Fortnite, as you know. I'm cool. So,
you've played before.
I remember they did the thing with it, like Galactus at one point. And yeah, we'll see. So maybe this was going to be like a Fantastic Four event type of tie-in.
This is just the events. That's not like their whole list of everything.
Yeah,
roadmap. It was like it had Metallica, which was interesting. But I don't get like they basically put Rock Band into Fortnite, and I'm not really into it.
They're putting like every comic game in the Fortnite. They got Rock Band, they got Lego in there. I heard speaking of Fortnite leaks, one of the leaks I heard is that they were developing basically like an open world action game within within Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've played the least amount of Fortnite this season, though. Like,
Same.
So, yeah.
I played even less than I was, and I wasn't playing it all that often before. I would like, you know, Jay would beg me to play, and I would, you know, chop in for like a special occasion or something like that.
Basically, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, that was the last time I played. Yeah,
so.
Before that, it has in fact been a while because, you know, it's not. But Fortnite's done some cool shit, so maybe I might jump in for the Marvel season.
Yeah, the one thing that I hate about when they like, I love the Marvel season. Don't get me wrong, but like, if you didn't play that season, you can't have any of that. You know, like you're not getting the regular Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the FOMO.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing: as somebody that basically has like all that stuff, like there are some people that will kind of gatekeep it and like, no, you didn't play, you don't get it. It's like my badge of honor. Like I have it, and it's like the rarity of the skin. Like there are those people that are like, no, don't bring it back. Like I have it. You look at me wearing it, you know, like those season 1 skins and everything.
You know, yeah, those people that have no friends in real life, right?
Exactly. So, but like I feel like if they missed the Deadpool season, let them buy Deadpool. Like they don't have to buy another version of Deadpool. Let them just buy Deadpool. It's not that big of a deal.
I actually already have the only Jujutsu Kaisen skin that matters, so I'm good. All I wanted was Gojo. I don't need anything else.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
yeah, I'll probably get involved with this since I am a superhero guy. You know, I don't know when. Did they say when they expected that?
From what I heard, August.
So that's around. That's August is Star Wars Outlaws month, and we'll see what else. I think season 2 of Suicide Squad, if they remain on the 6-week schedule, should be July. And then Black Myth Wukong is going to be somewhere in there along with the First Descendant. So some stuff popping off in the summer. Of course we got you need May. Understandable, very fair.
So somebody said about the He-Man. It'll probably still come.
Yeah,
I'm not worried.
So Jay, anything special happening at Summer Game Fest for you?
I am not at liberty to discuss anything other than I am there.
That is a yes.
I haven't like scheduled anything. I've seen like a preliminary list of who's at the other thing that I get to do, but we're definitely not allowed to talk about that. So
we can openly speculate. This is me. You're asking. You're asking me if I've seen this. If I've seen Konosuba season 3 and Kaiju number 8. I literally talked about Konosuba last week on the podcast. I tried to get Jay to watch it, but definitely not an anime Jay would enjoy. It's too fun. He would not like it at all. But yeah, I am very much on top of all of the new anime for the spring, and it is quite a list of bangers. Definitely is the time to jump into anime if you have not.
When you said there's something special coming, I thought that was going to be a transition over to Fallout.
No, I mean it could have been since it sounds like there's something going on, it could be a transition to Elgato, who just launched the Neo series.
Oh yeah,
and they sent your boy some merch, #Spawn.
Got my Neo
Key
Keylight
light?
Neo.
I do too. I'm using it right now. It's very bright. It gives me plenty of light so that I can look nice and pretty. You know, I can change. I can adjust the tint. It's a whole thing. You know.
Yeah, so it's a really cool line. I don't think I think what they're really trying to like cater to are professionals, like people that work from home, like people that don't need a full, $1,000 setup.
Right.
You can get a cam, a microphone for like $200,
Yeah, which is great,
and
and it's also great for new content creators
exactly.
who are they maybe don't have a lot of money to start, and they're not sure where they want to go, what gear they should get. They can just hop on, grab pretty much all the basics they need for the Neo series to start making videos, making streams.
Effortless. That's the theme. Effortless.
Yep, this was
Just plug and play and look professional, sound professional, make professional.
Yeah, I literally did it on stream. Like I was streaming Spider-Man 2 while talk about the Venom game, which we can get into, and I literally just unboxed it as as I was talking and set it up right there on stream. It was pretty straightforward and easy, and the light was extremely bright. It was very good quality. If you notice my lighting is a little better, it's because I'm using the key light right now. But I was showing it off while talking about Venom, which is Jeff Grubb was talking about it on the podcast a couple weeks ago, how it might pop up at the PlayStation event. It's supposed to be basically a Miles Morales sized spin-off game based on Venom. And I mean, I'm game. I'm sold on that. that sounds something I would definitely play.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have a policy of buying every game Insomniac makes, but a Venom game, sign me up. Especially if it's Eddie Brock or Flash. I'm all about it. I would play Harry. Venom was fun, but yeah, I'd rather a different host. if I had a choice, I would love for them to throw the fans a bone. Giving them an Eddie Brock game.
Yeah, I don't understand why we wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Especially since it's going to be the way the game ended, like having whatever's left of the symbiote find its new host and start from there makes the most sense.
Yeah, then trying to force a way to give it to Harry again, because they already established that they're using the Goblin Serum on Harry.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yep, hopefully we get to see that at next month's PlayStation Showcase, along with fingers crossed for Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Oof, that would be dope to be in the crowd when that happens.
Yep, or to be, whatever they reveal at Summer Game Fest when, Jay's there showing off, I'm guessing Wonder Woman from WB.
I don't. I'm going to stop myself there.
Almost had him. Here. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of these reveals, because it's been a while. I feel like Wonder Woman definitely should have a reveal this year, because I think that game should be out next year. 2025 feels like the year finally for Wonder Woman, and it would be nice for them to finally talk about what the hell WB Games My Charles working on. like I feel like with the situation Suicide Squad and their emphasis on putting out more games to take advantage of the IP, they definitely don't want to go through another Summer Game Fest season without announcing some stuff. Like Marvel keeps dropping lots of new projects, and we're just sitting here as DC fans like, what the fuck?
I hope they announced the new Lego game.
For Jay's big account, he definitely wants to announce the new Lego game.
Yeah,
which is definitely a possibility. I mean, it's Summer Game Fest, but yeah, in general, it feels like WB needs to kind of step it up here.
I don't think the new Lego game is coming out this year anyway, so it probably would be the Game Awards more likely.
Yeah, more. That seems like a good bet. But yeah, like because Marvel for this year so far, we got the Marvel 1943 trailer. Then we got the announcement of Marvel Rivals. we might get an Iron Man trailer. They might finally reveal that third Marvel game they're working on. Insomniac has obviously a bunch of Marvel stuff that they're going to be doing for the next decade, and it just feels like we're always just waiting like 10 years for a new DC game announcement. It's just like, guys, what are you doing?
I have no info on anything.
That means Jay has info he can't tell you.
When I was at WB Games Montreal in September of 2022, I saw somebody there wearing a Wonder Woman t-shirt.
There you go. Exclusive.
The Wonder Woman game t-shirt, not just a regular Wonder Woman t-shirt.
That's right. Wonder Woman game t-shirt. You heard it here first. You're not going to hear that anywhere else.
Nope.
There's a Wonder Woman game t-shirt.
I mean, it depends. Caboose and Uncaged might have seen it, so you could theoretically hear it from them, but
probably not. Jay, as far as I know, Jay's the only one that disclosed that.
Yeah.
This is why you tune to the Aftershow. Get those big scoops. But yeah, the game looked great from the very, very brief trailer that we got. The concept art looked cool when someone put that on their LinkedIn before taking it down. So yeah, Monolith is a good studio. The Nemesis system is fantastic. I'm all about it. I just want to see it. So I want to release it. I know a lot of people are going to be shook for GTA 6 next year, but you gotta have something. You can't have GTA be the only game that comes out next year.
Yeah. Well, maybe they want that. I mean, maybe other developers are like, oh, people are just going to play this from now until the end of time. So
unless that gets delayed until 2026, imagine
that'd be wild.
Oh man, people would have a meltdown.
God, I can't believe how long it's been since 5.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Crazy.
I mean, when you're making that many V-Bucks every month, there's no rush to make a new game. Speaking of Rockstar, they Take-Two also just announced. I know this is going to shock you, but more industry layoff information. Take-Two just laid off 5% of their staff globally, and the move is expected to save, I think they said, around 130 million. And it just is it's always a shame when you have layoffs, but when you have it at Take-Two,
yeah, I don't understand. I don't want to
like for those that don't know Take-Two, not only is GTA under Take-Two, but 2K is as well.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You have multiple games under you that literally generate billions of dollars in revenue per year.
Yeah, I feel like almost everybody that I've worked with in the Next Maker program is gone. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening there. This week, Cornell from Visual Concepts, I guess, they do WWE. He announced he's leaving. Like today was his last day. That was a shock because I was literally just hanging out with him in February in Salt Lake City, and he was like Mr. WWE 2K, like massive. Like this is a huge loss.
Of course, Cammy, remember she was famously a big part of 2K. Then she jumped ship. She's now at Bethesda, which great time to be working at Bethesda right now because Fallout is a big hit.
All right, so this is that spoiler warning. I don't think we need to really go too far into the spoilers anyway.
We don't really need to. Yeah.
But man, that show is as good an adaptation as you're ever gonna get.
It was fantastic. It definitely gives me hope for the Kratos God of War thing that Amazon's doing. I had pretty good. I had faith in the Warhammer thing Amazon's doing, because Henry Cavill, they basically said, "All right, Henry, do your thing. We're not going to fuck with you like they did on Netflix." So I was perfectly fine on that. But after some of the Amazon's notable duds, I was like, I don't know. But Fallout, they crushed it. There are definitely some people who didn't enjoy it, some grifters who thought it was going to be bad and didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to backtrack on it, and they're just like doubling down. But I thought it was fantastic. I'm not a Fallout fan. I didn't play any of the games. Jay is a Fallout fanboy.
Yeah, I love Fallout,
and even he, loved it. I enjoyed The Last of Us. I played both games, obviously, and I was not as high on the series as other people were. I did think it was very good, very high quality. Definitely way better than the game adaptations we usually get for when it comes to movies or shows. But I'm glad that there seems to be a shift here. Not like I knew there was going to be a gold rush in Hollywood to start doing game adaptations. After we started seeing some success, particularly with the Mario movie, and people were like, "Oh wow, people like games," and it's a win-win for everyone. The companies that are having producing these projects, they get a hit show. The game companies that they're adapting this, they get spikes in sales and interest in the IP. It's a win-win all around. So when you do it right, and I'm glad that at least for so far we've gotten a nice little run of really good adaptations. We had, obviously we had Edge Runners for Cyberpunk, Arcane, League of Legends, Last of Us, and now Fallout. Absolutely fantastic. I literally I didn't bother to read anything going into Fallout. I didn't play any of the games. I was like, I'm going into this as someone who has heard of Fallout, but the only thing I knew about Fallout was that it was post-apocalyptic, and people really hated I think it was the most recent game. Was it New Vegas?
No, New Vegas was one of the first games I ever played on my channel.
What was the one that
76?
What was the one that had a terrible launch?
76.
76. Yeah, that's all. That's the only thing I knew about Fallout. That was a post-apocalyptic game, and they had one of them that was terrible at launch.
Yeah. So Fallout, I've played. New Vegas was the first game I played. Then I went back and played 3, and then 4. I loved 4 because 4 was based in Boston, and it was just so cool to see places that I've been. But 76 was their take on Elder Scrolls Online,
right?
And they made some really questionable decisions when they launched it, like no companions. There were no NPCs. They wanted the only people that you saw in the world to be real people, and they very quickly pivoted. They found out that did not really work well.
It turns out that's not why people buy Bethesda games.
Yeah. So I played a little bit when it came out, but it didn't hook me.
Yes, there was fallout from those decisions.
Yeah. But I did go back and play a little bit the other day, and I would like to play some more. I loved New Vegas. New Vegas was so good. I didn't like 3 as much. 3 was based in Washington DC, I think. And 4 was Boston. Obviously, I love that.
Chill.
And yeah, I don't know if Tom's is still here. He said this is the spoiler warning you wanted. Okay, so
spoiler warning.
Yeah, so I am very much looking forward to season 2 of the Fallout series because you finished it, right?
Yes, I did.
So basically, the end is teasing New Vegas. So Fallout Vault 33 seems like it was based in Hollywood. In the LA area.
Right.
So that's the farthest west we've seen it go. And obviously we're moving inward towards New Vegas, which is kind of cool. What I love about Fallout, people have been asking me all right, which game should I play first? And honestly, I don't think it matters because every game is just going to be the same theme in a different location.
And from my understanding, it's not necessarily like an adaptation of a story. It's like a story that takes place in the Fallout universe. Like it's not like they was like, okay, this is a storyline from this Fallout game. Like with The Last of Us, they basically said, okay, we're basically doing an adaptation of Last of Us 1 and the Left Behind DLC. That's season 1, and then season 2 will be an adaptation of Last of Us Part 2, the game. Fallout is just a story that takes place in the Fallout universe.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So like, I don't really think it matters which one that you play first. Just I would say that Fallout, like all the games are really cheap right now, and they just announced that Fallout 4 is getting a next gen update soon and it's free. So I would definitely recommend Fallout 4 if you get a chance, because you'll get that next gen update at a very cheap price.
Matter of
And
fact, I might pull that up right now.
yeah, like all these games are like, their games you're going to get lots and lots of hours out of. Plus, you get versions of the game that have like all the DLC and everything. There's like a lot of gameplay that you're going to get out of it. It's one of those games you can just kind of get lost in. You can like build your own like areas and hubs and everything. It's it's not without like some issues. There are definitely issues like any Bethesda game, but it's Fallout 4 for me and New Vegas. I love those two games like so much. Fallout 3, I don't know what it was. Fallout 3 was a little bit different for me though. Like a lot of people say Fallout 3 is their favorite, and I don't know what it was. That one I didn't finish that one the first time I started playing it. I did eventually go back and replay it, but
so funny enough, I just pulled up the PlayStation Store, and right on under latest, there's under must see, you got Fallout, and if you click on it, they've got a whole collection of Fallout stuff, DLC, add-on packs, season passes, everything. So it looks like Fallout 4 is free with my PlayStation Plus subscription, so that's an obvious download. I have to,
there are mods. Like I actually have a video of Deadpool, me playing as Deadpool.
Ooh. And Fallout 76 America's Playground is also included with PlayStation Plus.
Video 7 years ago. 11K views. Hold on, let's
And so if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription, I'm not sure what tier. I have the highest tier. I don't know what tier you need, but if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription and you enjoyed the Fallout series and you really want to get into the game, you can literally get it for free right now. I just grabbed 76 and Fallout 4.
Look at that. There's just me playing as Deadpool
at 10 frames per second.
Yeah, I don't know what it is lately. Google Chrome. Whenever I watch YouTube on Google Chrome, it like works like crap.
That's a really good mod.
Yeah, so I don't remember what I don't know what I was doing here. I was getting like a lot of XP. But yeah, I was just running around. Oh, I think there was like an X-Force version too. I think I was like doing some cheese right here, getting lots of XP. But yeah, you can like basically walk around as Deadpool. There was also another mod I had for like for Batman. So Batman. There are lots of mods on there. So
the only reason to have a gaming PC, the mods.
This was on Xbox though.
Yeah, I did hear that for some Bethesda games they had mod support on Xbox, but
I don't know if it might be on PlayStation as well. I would imagine. I mean, it was 7 years ago that I made this video.
Where would that be? I don't see anything.
It's in the game.
It would just be in the game.
Yeah, in the game there was like a mod menu.
Okay, well, I'm downloading it right. I'm downloading 4 right now, so we'll check it. I'll check it out later. Maybe this give me a little something to stream, because I really did. I am definitely more curious about the Fallout world now. Now that I've seen the show, like I'm looking through the menus and I'm seeing the Brotherhood. I'm seeing the robots. I'm seeing the vaults, and now I understand the significance of all this. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I'm definitely looking to dive into a little Fallout. See what all the fuss is about, and I hope that we get more out of this. I would love if there was like a great God of War adaptation. I'm looking forward to the Ghost of Tsushima project. I really hope they don't fuck that one up, because we love Ghost of Tsushima on this podcast very much, and we do not want them to fuck it up. Yeah. Jay has the statue. I don't have the statue, but I am representing Jin Sakai, autographed Jin Sakai, Funko Pop,
and he wrote it in Japanese
because he is a gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to you. All right, so I think we covered everything this week, and I'm saying that because I want to go watch the basketball game on ESPN.
I'm okay with it. I feel like 2 hours is
solid.
I like a nice 2-hour show. I feel like we can.
Nice too. Oh yeah, speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, PlayStation is finally having some cross-play support. They're going to be having trophies and stuff transferring over from your PlayStation over your PC. They're going to have that now, but also the Legends mode is going to have crossplay. So if you have Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation and you're looking to play with some PC Master Race, you'll be able to do that when Ghost of Tsushima drops on PC next month. So look out for that. I'm definitely going to be playing. I don't need an excuse to play, but I'll happily take an excuse to play some more Ghost of Tsushima Legends mode. So when that comes out, I will be streaming it. And if you're part of the PC Master Race and you're new to Ghost of Tsushima, you want to run some Legends modes, I will be there running Legends mode because I love it. It's fun. So we'll catch y'all next time. We're going to be diving deep into some NBA playoffs off stream. So tonight's the last night of the play-in tournament. So looking forward to seeing if the Kings can advance. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I'm Casual Avenger.
No, you're not.
All right, I'm JayShockblast.
Zip it up and zip it out. Peace, my naysayers.